Good evening and welcome to This Week in Review.
Marie is on holidays, so the BBS student workers are getting a chance to do the news.
Tonight's stories include opening of the Say West Visitor Kiosk, the Burgeo Tourism Committee held a fishing derby, the Town Council report, and the Anglican Church Visitor held a mini summer fair.
These stories plus community events at the Rec all coming up after this.
Okay, people, your assignment today is very simple. Make this earth as beautiful as possible. Any questions? Get started. Does anyone know where Lisa is?
Yeah, I do.
Do a good turn for the earth. A community service thought from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
On Monday of this week, the opening of the Southwest Visitor Kiosk took place. The opening took place at 1 p.m. on Monday, July 15th at the junction between the Burgeo Road and the Trans-Canada Highway. Mr. Jim Pink, the chairperson of the Burgeo Tourism Committee, was the MC of the opening. Many people came out to the event, including the Honourable Kelvin Parsons, Mayor Han, and Mr. Harvey Billard, who all had positive things to say about the kiosk. A ribbon cutting took place to make the opening official. Everyone was then invited inside to view the building, and refreshments were provided. A lot of hard work was put into the making of this building, and the workers, the town, the BDDB, and the Tourism Committee should be proud of themselves for what they have accomplished. This kiosk deals with giving information to tourists about Burgeo, Ramia, Grey River, and Francois, as well as promoting the areas. There is a television there so you can view footage, as well as a variety of brochures and pictures of the areas. There is also a restroom available. There are many interesting facts posted, and the student worker, Jillian Bennett, is willing to pass on all the knowledge that she knows about the areas. The kiosk seems to be more than we ever expected it to be, and it is something else to make our community grow and for the community members to be proud of.
Summer jobs for this year are well underway. Many young people this summer were fortunate to get summer jobs, but those who did not were welcome to become a part of the Odd Job Squad. Each job is for a different period of time and require different tasks from the students. There are people working for the museum, town council, BDDB, school, BBS, church, library, and many more. Work seems to be coming along well. Students tutoring are helping others to get ready for supplementary exams. The recreation program is helping to keep younger children occupied. On rainy days, they are in the school, and on nice days, they go to either the ball field or the playground to do different activities. The satellites at BBS are being painted. The BDDB worker is involved in different projects. The CIS workers are also helping to keep the children occupied, as well as straightening up the library, and the museum is becoming more organized. The community center is also being painted. Instead of its usual yellow color that we are so used to seeing, the color is being changed. It seems to be making the building look as if it is brand new, and it makes it look more appealing. We spoke to Melanie Durnford, who is working with CIS in conjunction with the library, as well as Glenn Tucker, who is working at the BDDB office, to see what their jobs require of them.
Well, we're summer program site coordinators for communities and schools, which basically means that we organize summer activities for young children in elementary school. As well, we're in partnership with the library, so we take care of a lot of library work that needs to get done, like book organization and things like that.
I do work for the BDDB, such as helping local businesses with tours and brochures and such, and getting in contact with other towns in the district, such as like putting brochures together for the kiosk information center that we opened recently, and doing inventory for coastal growers, things like that.
All students seem to be working hard this summer and are enjoying their summer jobs at the same time.
A fishing derby was held from July 12th to July 14th, sponsored by the Burgeo Tourism Committee. The weighing of the fish was taking place on Sunday, July 14th from 6 to 9 p.m. at Leela Fassett House. All participants in the derby were asked to come out during these times to get their fish weighed in to see who would win the prizes for the largest fish caught in many different categories. The winners came out to our studio on Wednesday to get their prizes presented to them.
Good evening. The Burjo Tourism Association held a fishing derby the past weekend. Most of the work was done by Leela Foss and his partner Sonia and R.B. Villard. And we're here tonight to announce the winners of this fishing derby. And we had several prizes there tonight. And the first one is for the biggest trout, which was 1 pound and 9 ounces. And that was won by Chris Warren. And he's got a prize of a rod and reel. Chris, you're here? Okay, I guess Chris is going to have to pick up his prize later on. The next prize was for the biggest winner niche, which was 3 pound and 3 ounces, Jordan Sims, and that's a rod and reel. The biggest salmon, 3 pound, 4 ounces, and that was won by Chris LaFosse, and that is a rod and reel. The next one is 6 largest trout, 1 pound, 6 ounces, Shannon Ball, and he's won backpack and lures. Seems like Shannon is not here either. Next one is for the 6th largest winner niche, 5 pounds, 4 ounces, Joey Compton, and that's a backpack and lures. We had names that went in for 3 draws, and this was people who participated into the contest but didn't get any real big fish, and their names went in for a draw. And the winners of that is Gary Warren, which is a gun scope, Sharon Strickland, awning package, which included an orange awning cap, gun cleaning kit, 4 field dressing bags, and 2 survival blankets. And it doesn't look like Sharon is here this afternoon either. And the other one was for Matthew McDonald, a $20 gift certificate. And that's all the winners. And these gifts were made possible by the sponsors like Stu's Bus Line, Mr. Fly, Variety Quick Shop, Lee's Outdoor Adventures, Ingram's Foodland, Gillett's Motel, Jai's Place, Burjo Coast Wilderness Excursions, Rick's Reliable Auto Parts, Pleasant Mountain Guide Service, I believe that's in the States, Eric's Own Meat, and Pro Hardware. And we like to thank our sponsors for really making this possible. And we'd like to thank everyone for participating. And next year we would probably try to do this again and have the contest on a little earlier. And I'd like to thank BBS for sponsoring this afternoon for us. And the people who are not here to pick up their gifts, they can come back to Sonia's house.
Yeah. Shannon and Chris is there now, so they
Okay.
can pick up their stuff.
Shannon and Chris. Shannon.
Shannon won the backpack.
Backpack, yeah, right. 6th largest trout.
Yeah. There you go. Congratulations.
And Chris Warren. Yep.
The largest trout.
Big trout at Peter Stride's Bridge. Everybody else is fishing. Okay, thank you very much.
Stay tuned for more of This Week in Review coming up after this.
I am Ashtar, a robot from Planet Danger. I can put my arm back on. You can't. So play safe.
The Anglican Vestry held a mini summer fair on Thursday of this week. The fair opened at 1:30 at the parish hall, and there were many items waiting for everyone. There were bake tables, book tables, a dollar table, and a gift cake. There were also activities for the children, including face painting, games, jigs, and puppet shows, which they all seemed to enjoy. A canteen service was also available, with fries and soft drinks to be purchased. At 5 p.m., there was a potluck dinner held at the parish hall, which went over well. The afternoon ended with a bingo at the community center sponsored by the Lioness, with all proceeds going to the summer fair project. Everyone seemed to enjoy the day, and the fair seemed to be a success.
You mean I shouldn't have to say things like Christian honest and I cross my heart in order for people to believe me?
That's right. You should always be so honest that when you say yes or no, people know you mean it. If people know you are trustworthy, they will take you at your word.
You know, Matilda, I think you're right.
Now over to Mayor Ham for the council report.
Council report for Wednesday, July the 17th, 2002. Council convened its meeting at 7 p.m. We had 5 members in attendance. Items up for discussion were the roof over the rink committee, along with the town manager, have made an application for capital works in the amount of approximately $600,000. This money will be a shared 80-20 cost-sharing arrangement, which means that there would be about, I don't know what it is, something like 125,000 approximately from the town, and the remainder will be from the provincial government. So the 125,000 is the money which had been raised over the years for a hockey arena for Burgeo. So that's where they're starting from. They hope to get a building, and this will cover the building, plus the site preparation, the electrical, and the water and sewer. And after that's completed, I guess they'll take it from there. I think there is a possibility they are looking at, or they have in mind at a later date, probably installing the HECO system of refrigeration, whereby you get ice in the building without having to put pipes in the floor. So that seems to be on the go, and so therefore, no doubt it's not something you're going to see next week, but apparently, you know, this thing is coming to a head, and finally maybe something will be done. Also, at council, we had some discussion with regard to snow clearing. It's kind of early in the year, but then we're not having a good summer either. Anyway, the thing is that Mr. Don Matthews of Work Services and Transportation, I believe it's Deer Lake, he was in Burgeo Saturday before last, and he met with me on a couple of items. And anyway, Work Services and Transportation is restructuring their sit-up with regard to snow clearing on the Burgeo Road. Presently, the sit-up which they've had for some time has been 3 employees at Burgeo, 5 at Peter Strides, and 1 at St. George's. Under their new proposal, there will be 7 employees at Burgeo, and beginning on January the 15th, from January the 15th to April the 15th, there will be 2 employees at Peter Strides. That will be contract employees, and there will be 1 at St. George's. He ran that by me, wanted to know what the council thought of the restructuring which they're proposing. the thing is that Work Services and Transportation wants to get out of Peter Strides. They want to shut down the operation of that facility. Now, whether the contractor will operate the facility or get his own accommodations, I guess that will be on the part of the contractor. However, operating the Peter Strides camp, I think the camp is starting to deteriorate and get dilapidated, and I guess they're looking at ways of doing it. It looks, from looking at it at first, you know, you've got 7 employees in Burjo. It doesn't mean it'll be 7 Burjo people, but you've got 7 employees at Burjo, which, you know, down the road very well could turn into possibly 7 jobs for Burjo people. I'm not saying there will be, but, you know, I mean, it certainly is a lot easier for someone from Burjo to work in Burjo than it is for someone somewhere else to come and work in Burjo. So we looked at the restructuring thing council did, and from what we can see, there shouldn't be any downgrading of the snow clearing services. So it was a consensus of council that we would advise Work Services and Transportation that that we don't have any objections to them proceeding with the way they plan to restructure the snow clearing on the Burjo Road. However, you know, the main thing is we do not want to see a decrease in the level of service which is being provided. So, you know, should it not work out or should there be problems with it, then of course we'll have to go there then. But, you know, really I guess the Burjo Town Council can't control Work Service and Transportation with regard to which way they plow the roads. However, it's nice that they did approach us, and we certainly at this time, from what we got and what we see, we can't see where the proposed change will impair the snow clearing on the Burjo Road. So now, you know, it's not said that they're going to do it yet, but this is what they are proposing. So, you know, we certainly endorsed it just as long as there is no downgrading of the service, the snow clearing on the Burjo Road. Another subject, for some time now, you've heard that the Burjo Town Council has been trying to lever more money out of Work Services and Transportation for the clearing of the road from the government wharf to the area of the chlorination plant. Well, Percy Barrett has came back, and what he's proposing is he definitely got no more money. He just can't give us any more money, he says. But what he is proposing now is that Work Services will clear the road from the government wharf to the area of the water treatment plant. You know, we looked at what will happen there. According to Mr. Matthews, they will be using a front-end loader for the removal of the snow through town. They won't be using the flyer. And so looking at it, council came up with that, you know, it's about a 4-kilometer stretch of road which will be cleared with a bigger piece of equipment. Council, of course, will still have to clear the side roads. So, you know, it will take the strain out of our budget with regard to clearing that section of road, plus the sand and salt which has got to be used on the road. We won't be responsible for doing that. We won't be responsible for doing up the shoulders of that stretch of road anymore, and neither will we be responsible for potholes. So with that, in view of that, it was agreed by council that, you know, if Work Services and Transportation wishes to take back that stretch of road and put it in their inventory, then that's fine with the Burjo Town Council. Of course, we will insist that the caliber of snow clearing will be up to the same as any area of town, any other area of town. With regard to the water treatment plant, I'm sure if any of you have been around, you can see that it's moving along at a pretty good pace. Council is quite pleased with the amount of work that has been done. All that's left now is to insulate the building and do the electrical, and that will take care of phase 1. It is estimated that that'll probably clue up about the end of July or the first week of August. Phase 2, like I said some time ago, it had been approved. Apparently the federal government, we've been advised now, has got some little environment hang-up. It doesn't seem to be a big thing. We don't even know what the environment hang-up is. It's probably just a clarification of something. But anyway, that's what it seems to be. They've got some little environment concerns. And but it is anticipated that that'll be over in the very near future, and probably within 2 to 3 weeks' time, the official approval will be given, and the call for tenders will be out. The thing is with this phase 2 project is this, that there's no outside work. So if it's approved in September, October, November, December, the work can go ahead because it's all inside work. It's more mechanical and technical that phase 2 will be covering off. And having said that, I'd like to just pass on to you that we had a representative from the company who will be providing a lot of the equipment for phase 2 was in town a couple of weeks ago, and he had what you call a mini ozonation system with him. And what it is, it's a system that's going to be used in our water system. And he put off a demonstration at the chlorine plant. There was a couple of councillors there, and some people from the general public were there and saw it. And it was amazing to see the raw water in this bottle and see it being fed through and what came out at the other end. It was like day and night. And so given the look of our water there, without any filtration, without any chlorination or anything, it was really something to see, and I've got no doubt that we're going to end up with good water. I feel very confident of that. In fact, the person who put this off, he did say that the water in Long Pond is good water to start with. It really is, because there's very little mineral in it. Like he said, we've got good water now, it's just not good to look at. And so therefore we're pretty pleased about that, and we're kind of glad to see it coming on stream. In fact, Portabass, I've been told, is now and was in contact with that same company, the person that was here in Burgeo, and they'd like to have this ozonation on their system. So it seems to be the coming thing, and we're quite pleased about that. The town manager advised that the regional office in Corner Brook has told him that our request for $50,000 for additional hydrants has been given a #1 priority. The region is supporting it, so we sort of optimistic that we're going to get that $50,000 for the additional hydrants around town. I'll say the government shed, but really I should be saying, I guess, our shed. We have signed a memorandum of understanding with Work Services and Transportation, so we've gone over that hurdle. That's out of the way. It took a while, but the shed is now, we can go in there. We've got full rights now to move anyone in there and begin work and whatever we so please. The company Seacrest has the license in place. We have presented them with a copy of a memorandum of understanding, which they're going over now, which will be their agreement with us. And they're estimating that they're going to be starting work in the very near future, and I'm just going to say a week to 10 days, and I hope that something do materialize within that length of time. We've got to get this memorandum of understanding or a lease done with Seacrest, the same as Work Services had to get a lease with us, because we don't want to get that building tied up like it was before. And so once we do get the building, at least if it's not being utilized for the best benefit of the town, then we'll have some recourse whereby we can get the building back. So that's taken up, and undoubtedly the Seacrest is making sure that it's it's a lease that covers their interests as well. And speaking on this subject, you know, I've got to say that it appears as if there's a lot of negativity towards this project, and for the life of me, and pessimism. And I don't think that this is the time for it, and I really, really don't know the reason for it. Because, you know, I don't know if there's going to be enough fish there to employ 15 people, 20, 25 people, or 30 people. I certainly don't know that. The company says there is. It's their money. They're taking the chance. So I don't know why the negativity towards this project is here in the town. And it's certainly there because councillors are picking up vibrations on it, and I'm picking them up myself. You know, all the town council is doing, we're supplying 3-phase power to the facility. We put in 2 washrooms. I don't know what else we're doing. 3-phase power, the 2 washrooms, and we're going to be supplying water to it. So, you know, if the project doesn't pan out, then the town is left with a facility that's got water, sewer, and 3-phase power for some other development should it come along for us. The company is going to do the ceilings, the walls, put in a new floor, and put in equipment. And through our lease agreement, should either of us cancel out, then the company can take what equipment they got in there and move, but then we're left with a building with new ceilings, walls, and a new floor. So, you know, to me, it's a win-win situation for the town, whichever way this goes. So, you know, I don't know. I just don't think it's a time for us to be having negative. Sure, I mean, if this town really wants this little facility to fail, undoubtedly it will fail. There's no two ways about that. And, you know, often we hear about good corporate citizen. You know, if there's a corporation that's contributing to a town and they're good to work for, we say they're a good corporate citizen. Maybe sometime we should try to be what we say citizens that are good corporate supporters of our town and the industries which are in our town. And maybe it'll get us out of some of the quagmires that we find ourselves in many times. But having said that, you know, I really would. I look forward to it. The council looks forward to this project getting underway, and would like to see it succeed. And maybe it will, maybe it won't. But, you know, I don't think negativity and pessimism is going to make it succeed for sure. That is a sure route to failure. Our kiosk up on the Burgeo Road, that was opened. The ribbon was cut on Monday. Our MHA, Minister Calvin Parsons, cut the ribbon. There was quite a few on hand. That was nice to see. And the facility is open from Monday to Friday. And with that in mind, the town felt, you know, open from Monday to Friday, and that was all because there's only one worker. We couldn't get the 7-day coverage. The Burgeo Town Council said for the Saturdays and Sundays that we would like to see it open, and so therefore we'd like to partner with the Ramia Town Council to cover the cost of those 2 days. And if Ramia doesn't come on, we've said, well, we'll go it alone. And just in a way of a joke, we said that if we go it alone, then Saturday and Sunday will be Burgeo days. But anyway, we hope that this will divert a few more people down into our town. And next year, they'll be looking for 2 workers, and that we would be operating from the middle of May to the middle of September. You know, this is, we consider anyway, town money well spent. We are supporting the business community of Burgeo, and this is the way that we do it, by if we can divert 1,000 or more people into Burgeo, and these people, 1,000 people, and they spend $10 each, that's $10,000 worth that's been left behind in Burgeo. So we look at it as a good investment, and I do think the kiosk will be successful. We're now in the process of getting signage put on the Trans-Canada so we can get the traffic diverted off onto the Burgeo Road. Another announcement which might have been, people might be interested in knowing, that Minister Parsons did announce at the opening of the kiosk that the white lines will be going back on the Burgeo Road, and you can expect to see them going back there in August or early September. So the white lines are coming back on our road. The Economic Development Officer gave a report to Council and covered a wide range of activities in which the VDDB is carrying on at this time. The museum, Deputy Mayor Linehan advised that the students are in place to carry on with the painting of the murals. So we should see some work going ahead there again in the near future. And hopefully we can see that, you know, starting to look as the way it should look. However, as you well know, that weather is not really cooperating so far this year in trying to get some painting done. So the same weather that's plaguing you as a citizen of Burgeo is also plaguing the Burgeo Town Council with regard to sprucing up around town, cutting grass, painting up the playgrounds and so on. Everything is all set and ready to go, but we just can't seem to get the weather to get those things done. Then there was various items, what I call miscellaneous house cleaning items, such as signs missing, signs that should be replaced and straightened up and so on around town. And the meeting adjourned shortly after 9, with approval being given to pay invoices in the amount of $27,842.78. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you after our next meeting. Good evening.
Stay with us for After Rec and community events, all after this.
The little things you do that you think are small and few are the things that mean the most to me. So just keep giving whatever you're giving, 'cause even when you're giving just a little,
if you're doing just a little, you're helping a lot.
it helps a lot.
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
It helps a lot.
After Rec. This week as we scanned our tape rack, we came across a screeching in ceremony which took place during a Sand and Sea Festival. Let's look back to July 16, 1997.
Now everybody give her 3 big cheers. All right. You want to kiss the fish? Go for it. I tell you, hold on now. Did you see that thing there? Don't touch that. Be very careful. That's things and it's poison. Careful, I'll put it back on your chin with a little bit of makeup. And hold on now. Ready? Okay. I'll keep showing you. That's an old sporting guy these days. You got an old sporting? There's one else pack out. That's where they're from. You got an old sporting. Small fish, big mouth. Not do land fish, they know, darling. No, you kiss like everybody else kisses, boy, darling. There we go, come on. Whoa! Give me a big one, come on. You throw it, turn that big a boy you is. Come on, come on. Is that your daughter? And you're not in this land, and you've got all kinds of relations there, and you're from Scotland? Oh, it's down there with the old school stick, huh? You know what, don't you? Ready? Oh my God. Don't be sick. What's your rather kiss the fish? Let's go for it. Oh! Don't you take off, or you all stay here. There you go, Cameron. No need film. I got my arm. You get turned on. I'm the one who got put up with it. Are we ready? Here you go, Herb. good boy, I tell you. See, can you do any better than that? I'll save you for last, there'll be more drool on that. Well, he wants to know that it... Sam Dorman? What's that Sam Dorman mean? No, not Sam Dorman. My. Hey! Come on, go for it. Big kiss for the face. Go for it. Show him. Go. You didn't guess. No, you didn't. No, I'm not stunned.
Good evening and welcome to the community event segment of tonight's broadcast. I'm Jennifer Marks. The winner of the Odd Job Squad TV Bingo was Irene Marsden. Congratulations, Irene. Any seniors, widows, widowers, and shut-ins needing odd jobs done around their home can call Crystal at 886-3389. You buy the materials and they supply the student for free. They have a number of students who are more than eager to help you. Hire a student for a few hours, a day, or even longer at no cost to you. Cops for Cancer will be taking part in their head-shaving activities again this year during the Sand and Sea Festival on Sunday, July 28th. If anyone wishes to participate, they can contact Constable Caldwell or pick up a pledge sheet from the RCMP office. There will be donation cans in various businesses or at the RCMP office for anyone wishing to donate. T-shirts and caps are also available to be purchased for $12 each and can be done so at the RCMP office or at BBS. The Sand and Sea Festival Committee are selling tickets on a propane camping stove with an oven. Tickets are $1 each or 3 for $2. If you do not have a ticket and would like to purchase one, you can do so by calling Ann at 886-2715 and she will make sure that you get one. If your group or organization has an upcoming event planned, we will be happy to advertise it for you. Just call the BBS office by Wednesdays of each week to have items included in this portion of our broadcast. That concludes the community event segment of tonight's broadcast. See you next week. And Marie will be here in 2 weeks with This Week in Review. For This Week in Review, we're Jennifer Marks,
Jennifer Han,
and Megan Foot.
Good night.